Hey, Dr. Rick here, MD. You know, people, doctors, and other health practitioners, they they offer you remedies like taking this pill for your stomach, taking that pill for your heart, um, taking this pill to take away your psychological issues like depression or bipolar disease, you know. But how do you expect a chemical pill to solve your biological needs when those pills are derived from petrochemicals? That's one thing. And how do you expect a chemical pill to take away all those years of psychological, emotional issues? Well, it's unrealistic, you know. Or I just had somebody prescribe paracetamol and they have a sciatic nerve compression. You know, sciatic is this large nerve on the back of your leg, radiating from your spine down to your buttocks, down to the back of your leg. And how do they expect this pill to solve these issues? Well, they can't. They absolutely cannot. You have to actually deal with the issues. You actually have to actually decompress the nerve. For example, dealing directly with the cause is what I'm trying to say, not just throw some chemicals at it and think that it's going to solve your issues. With emotional issues, they're so important to deal with because your emotional issues translates into your biological issues. Your emotions dictate your biological health. And how does it do that? Well, for example, if you're in constant stress, you actually have influence on the bacterial flora, the type of bacteria that is protecting you or hurting you in your gut just by your emotions. Yes. For example, if your body is in constant stress, you actually change the makeup of bacteria, the protective bacteria in your gut. So, not just changing the bacteria quality, turning it into more hazardous bacteria for your health, you're also, of course, elevating your stomach acid reflux, because of your stressful lifestyle. So, it is absolutely so much more, so much more important to deal with your emotional balance. It's so important, the highest importance, really, to deal with what has happened to you in the past. What has happened to you in the past has shaped who you are. It's in your subconscious. You're responding to things daily on an automatic basis because of these experiences from the past, when you were younger, when you were a child, when you were a teenager, when you were a young adult. And all these experiences, comments from people, go into your subconscious, like your parents telling you, you're no good, you're no good, or your partner criticizing you, oh, you know, you're not a good person. All these things help shape who you are and how you respond to things, to stimulus on a daily basis. You know, if you overreact, you get agitated, even though that circumstance, that event didn't really, should not have really caused you to react the way you did. But because of past programming in your subconscious, you reacted in much harder ways, in much exaggerated ways that stressed you out, stressed those involved as well. Could be your child, could be your partner, could be your colleagues, could be your extended family. And so our emotions really dictate our health and shape the quality of protective bacteria. When you're in constant stress, the bad bacteria proliferate. These bad bacteria let in, or actually destroy, the protective layer in our gut and let in more toxins that should have stayed outside, but they're allowed to let in because of stress, because of an imbalance in your emotional life. So they're let in, and what happens? These things that should have stayed outside are now inside, and now they're affecting your emotion even more. For example, a deficiency in in omega 3s, these crucial fats, omega 3s. A decrease in that will actually hurt your emotional well being and cause you more agitation, more aggressivity, more stress. If you increase your omega 3 intake, preferably algae based, because the fish derived omega 3s are, of course, gotten from fish, and fish eat the mercury and heavy metals from the sea. And so you take in those neurotoxic metals as well. Those are neurotoxic to our brain cells, these heavy metals. That's why kids, when they are exposed to heavy loads of mercury in also vaccines, and I'm afraid to say, vaccines have mercury in them still. And aluminum too, they're neurotoxic. So this adds to why kids have autism. So anyway, for adults, right, you want to decrease the amount of heavy metals that you take in, because it actually goes to your brain, causes your brain to be less strong in fighting against stress, fighting against bad concentration, you know, bad sleep, So when you boost your omega 3s, and when you start to de-stress, you're actually promoting healthier bacteria that will protect you more, protect your gut more, and not let in these toxins inside your deepest parts of your cells, and in your brain especially. So this is so, so important to rebalance your emotion. And one of the things that I recommend that you do is tapping and neurolinguistic programming. It basically helps to gently, slowly take away the negative programming in your subconscious that was put into you as you grew up, in your circumstances and your life experiences. To take those away slowly and put into place more healthy, nurturing thoughts and feelings. And instead of responding in a stressful, exaggerated way and basically foul up the rest of your day, you'll respond to it in a more calm way when you change your diet, take supplemental omega 3s, reduce things that causes inflammation, such as bad oils, bad cooking oils, canola, safflower, sunflower oil. Those things are really pro-inflammatory. Margarines, or zero cholesterol margarines, those are pro-inflammatory. And also glutens and lectins in fruits and vegetables and other food items. You want to limit those as well. And sugars. Sugars promote lots of inflammation in the brain as well as the whole body. So eat only fruits that are in season, okay? Don't eat fruit all the time. And stick to fruits that are lower in sweetness, like green apples, as opposed to red apples. Must be a race today. And also, avocados are great. Avocado oil is great to cook with and to put in salads. Olive oil is always good. Ghee is actually good. Butter is actually good. Of course, don't go overboard with it, Everything has to have balance in our lives. So, and so also, aside from tapping or EFT and neurolinguistic programming to rebalance your life. I also recommend meditation and yoga, or anything that helps you to get into a good zone, like running, swimming, playing an instrument, um, being with animals, being with dogs. Adopt a dog, adopt a cat, and go with the dog, for example, to the forest. That's a beautiful way of decompressing. Yeah. Another important thing is that it must be a race. There's a guy going up and down hill. Another thing to do is also staying away from toxic people, toxic coworkers, toxic people, toxic friends, toxic family members. You want to distance yourself from them in a respectful way, okay? Just tell them you're more busy than usual, you know? Don't piss them off by saying, oh, go away, I don't want you, you know? Distance yourself from them. That's what I had to do too in my family, is I had to distance myself from their toxic behaviors of jealousy and things of that nature. That's very, very important. So stay away from toxic people. And when you do that, you actually change your outlook, you change your outlook, and you start to attract law of attraction. You start to attract more positive, healing people because you attract the people the way you are. So if you want higher quality partner, higher quality friends, you have to change yourself deep inside first. Then you attract those better people. And that's the way. That's the way to really help yourself heal fully, you know? So you have the diet, you have the supplements of omega-3s, you have other things that reduce inflammation like glutathione and melatonin as well, staying away from inflammatory foods and inflammatory oils. That's another thing. Tapping though for me helped me so much, and neurolinguistic programming helped me so much, because in my case I dealt with so much jealousy and resentment in my family, and it was so toxic growing up. Like my family members didn't want me to ascend higher than them. It was so much jealousy. It's incredibly bad. I was assuming as a child that because they're family, we should help and support one another. But much to my shock, they were just jealous of one another, and not helping each other grow, which is so. It's such a waste of energy, such a waste of life to do these things. When I was a teenager, I was a jealous teenager too. When I was dating, and that was such a waste of energy, you know. So yeah, the most important thing to me right now is emotional healing, emotional well-being. That will translate into biological well-being, you know. So do everything you can to establish balance in your emotional and psychological well-being. It's so important, you know. So this is Dr. Rick, MD. Take care. See you later. Bye.